on behalf of the Vidalia Community Theater, we'd like to thank you for attending today. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, all the businesses that were listed in the program that were generous enough to help fund this. We were also able to receive a grant from the Prairie Lakes Regional Arts Council that made this all possible. I'd like to thank our actors and thank our director, Paul Warschauer, right, from New Ulm, that was nice enough to come over and help make this happen. More than even just money, which is always good, everybody appreciates money, right? But we need involvement. So if you are interested or you know someone who's interested in being a part of Theater Vidalia, it's a part of what makes our community so vibrant and keeps it so strong. And so if you're interested, make sure you contact myself or that girl there in the pink vest, Jolene, or anyone, she's right there. Just let us know because we want to make sure we keep this going as part of Vidalia. So thanks a lot.
Yes,
Jared,
sister.
dear?
Yes, sister.
Well, let there be light. Oh, marvelous, marvelous. Good job, boy, good job. Sister Mary Frances, come out here quickly. My dear, where are our signs?
They're over here.
Let me see them, and then we have to work with the audience. Oh, did you make these yourself, sister? Oh, they're lovely. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. We're putting on a radio show tonight, but we need audience involvement. So Sister Mary Frances here has worked all night on these lovely signs, and we need to practice. Aren't you? Oh, do another one, sister. Boo! That is for the naughty villain, yes. Oh, you're marvelous.
Ha 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 ha.
You're not supposed to ring the bell, okay? It's not the way this works.
Boys! You get girls, I get
See,
super
I want
boys!
the
What
bell.
did I do?
I want the bell.
No.
That's not
You
fair.
sit- That's not your job. You
No,
sit there.
but he can't ring. Carl, ring that bell. See, look at what he did. See, I can do it with my pinky. Watch, like that. It's so easy. Why can't I do it?
Because
Why?
that's not your job. Sit.
You know what?
Sit.
I can what?
Good. Sit. Do your job. Sit.
I told you I would be doing this. You all way too old.
I got Violet's way better than your part.
Whatever.
Girls, take your seat. Where are the other girls? Where are the older girls? Where's Matt?
Amber, I told you I was going to sit here. That's my spot. Move! Sister, you're sitting in my spot.
60 seconds. 60
told you.
seconds.
Who sits there then?
What's Matthew's seat? The boy's always late. Oh. Now, Sam and Matthew, where are they? Where are they?
What? Are you kidding me? It's closing night. He has to be here. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you let Matt get mono.
Joe has mono?
No, not Joe, Matt. Dude, you're really... I can't talk to you. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. Sister,
Oh, Sam, you're here.
we have a slight predicament.
What's that?
Matt has mono.
Where?
It wasn't me.
What? The show's on. Move to different one. Act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We'll be starting in just a moment, but I have just a slight request. We need a volunteer from the audience.
Oh, this guy here, he'd do it.
Would he?
I think
That
so.
would be
Have you done any
marvelous,
acting?
sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Anyone? Oh, saints preserve us. Father O'Malley!
Oh.
You've come to worship Father O'Malley.
Yeah, go father.
This is divine providence that you are here.
Sister, I get nervous at the confessional.
Oh, this is fun. This is a radio show. Your lines don't have to be memorized.
Lines?
Look, just 200, 300. Don't worry, come here.
You got this, father.
Come on, Bobby, you got it.
gentlemen, boys and girls, greetings from our WMAD Studio A in beautiful downtown Medelia, Minnesota, where the Medelia Community Theater's Playhouse of the Air brings you your favorite stories this week and every week. And I am your hostess this afternoon, Sister Mary Agnes. And it is my pleasure to present the St. Madeline School for Girls, and with the help of the St. James Home for Wayward Boys, as we perform for you that heartwarming Christmas story, It's a Wonderful Life. We begin our story in the little town of Bedford Falls, New York, where a number of people in town are praying for their dear friend, a typical American dreamer named George Bailey.
Dear God, please look over my husband, George.
George is a good boy. You know that. My son has always gone out of his way to give others a hand. Oh, now it's him that needs help.
Help! It's my big brother George. He's done so much for me, much more than I could ever remember.
I remember all the times he would stay late after work and ask not a cent. The world needs more like George Bailey.
George Bailey never thinks about himself. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for him.
If it wasn't for him, I would have given up a long time ago. All I think about is myself. I should have taken every cent he had.
He had no sense of business, that George Bailey, just like his father. None of the Baileys were ever businessmen. It's his own fault he wasn't prepared for times like these.
At times like these, I can't help but think it's all my fault. Help him, Father. It's me who's putting him through all this.
Something's the matter with Daddy. Should we pray for him, Mommy?
Yes, Zuzu. Pray very hard.
And the voices carry heavenward, and Joseph, the superintendent of angels, summons Clarence, an apprentice angel.
You sent for me, sir.
Yes, Clarence. A man down on earth needs our help.
Splendid. Wait, is he sick?
No, much worse. He's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, this man will be thinking of seriously throwing away God's greatest gift.
His life. I've only an hour to change that. What are they wearing now?
You will spend the next hour getting acquainted with Mr. George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, I mean, might I perhaps win my wings? I've been waiting for over 200 years now, and people are beginning to talk.
What's that book you have there?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
Oh, a fine book. Excellent. Well, you do a good job with George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Now, if you're going to help George, you want to know a little bit something about him. Look out there. You see the town?
Mm-hmm. Why, yes. A group of young boys sledding down a snow-covered hill and onto the ice. This is amazing.
Yippee!
Who's that?
That's your problem, George Bailey.
A boy?
That's him when he was 12, back in 1919. Something happens here you'll have to remember for later on.
And here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey.
I'm no scaredy baby!
Come on,
Yippee! Help! Help!
Oh dear. Harry's fallen to the ice.
I'm coming, Harry. Make a chain, gang. A chain!
So, his brother fell to the ice, but George saved him.
Yes, Clarence. And ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear. Yes.
The other event came a few months later. George took a job after school at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower. George Bailey. You're late. Yes, sir.
Hello, George.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of shoelaces, Violet?
Mary was here first.
I'm still thinking.
Shoelaces?
Please, George.
I like him. You like every boy.
What's wrong with that? Here you are.
Bye, Georgie.
Made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
With coconuts?
I don't like coconuts.
You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Look at here. From Tahiti, Fiji Islands, the Coral Sea.
What's that you got there? A new magazine? I never saw it before.
Oh, of course you never. Only us explorers can get it. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society. Let me get your ice cream.
It's a secret we can't have. George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
I'm going out exploring someday. You watch. And I'm going to have a couple of harems and maybe 3 or 4 wives. You wait and see.
George!
Yes, sir?
You're not paid to be a canary.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, Mary.
What was that piece of paper George just picked up?
It's a telegram for Mr. Gower. He found out this morning that his son had died in the war.
That's awful.
Yes, and he spent the afternoon drowning his grief in whiskey.
Mr. Gower, do you want anything? Anything?
No.
Anything I can do back here?
No.
Oh, I'll get them, sir. What's this bottle, Mr. Gower?
Never mind that. Take those capsules over to Miss Ghislaine's.
Yes, sir. They have the influenza over there, haven't they, sir? Is it a charge, sir?
Yes, charge.
Mr. Gower, I think...
Get going.
Yes, sir? Mr. Gower.
What is it?
Mr. Gower, that bottle you used, you put something wrong in those capsules.
Well, who do you think you're talking to?
Ow, you're hurting my sore ear.
Did you hear what I said? Get out of here.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules. I know you're unhappy. You got that telegram and you're upset. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Gower. But look. This bottle you used, this bottle to make up the capsules, it's poison.
Poison?
Don't hit my sore ear again.
Poison, oh, George.
All I wanted was to make sure, Mr. Gower. I won't tell anyone. I know what you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul. Hope to die, I won't.
Oh, George, I'm sorry.
Did he ever tell anyone about those pills?
Not a soul.
Did he ever marry the girl? Did he ever go exploring?
We'll get there soon enough, Clarence. When George Bailey grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked for 4 years at the Building and Loan Association.
The Building and Loan Association?
George's father was in the building and loan business, along with George's Uncle Billy.
George, what's the combination to the safe?
We wrote it down so you wouldn't forget it.
That's right. Where?
Your wallet, Uncle Billy.
Thanks.
Lovable fellow, Uncle Billy, just forgetful, that's all.
Who's that?
That's Henry F. Potter.
Boo!
The richest and meanest man in all the county.
Peter, Potter's here.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey. There's nothing quite so loathsome as a family business. Now, Peter, you know what I'm here for. A family to evict at 3 p.m.
Okay then, Mr. Potter, here's the thing. I just need a little more time, just 30 short days, and I'll dig up that 5,000 somehow.
Have you put any real pressure on these people of yours to pay their mortgages?
Times are hard, Mr. Potter. A lot of people are out of work.
Then foreclose.
I can't do that. These families have children.
They're not my children.
But they're somebody's children, Mr. Potter.
Are you running a business here or a charity ward?
Well, all right.
Not with my money.
Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all the money you've got.
So I suppose I should just give it to miserable failures, like you and that idiot brother of yours to spend for me?
He is not a failure. You can't say that about my father.
George.
You're not. You're the biggest man in town.
All right, son. Thanks. I'll talk to you tonight.
Don't let them say that about you, Pop.
Tonight. Go home, George.
What kind of business are you running here? Good God, man!
George worked for his father, saving enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. George got a job on a cattle boat and was ready to do a little traveling before college. Old man Gower surprised him with the gift of a great big suitcase. On his way home from the store, he ran into his friends, Ernie the cab driver and Bert the cop.
Hey, Ernie.
Hiya, George.
Hi, Bert.
Hey, George, what's the suitcase for?
I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style?
Sure, Your Highness. Hop in the cab. And for the carriage straight, I puts on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hello, Violet. Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
Oh, this old thing, I only wear it when I don't care what I'm wearing.
How would you like?
Honk. Yes?
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
No thanks. I think I'll go home and see what the wife's doing.
George saved up money to go away to college. His bags were all packed, and he was all set to go.
Boy, oh boy, it's hard to realize it's the last night in the Bailey boarding house.
We're sure going to miss you, George.
I'm going to miss you too, Pop. What's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
Oh,
I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us.
I wonder what's eating that old, money-grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's a sick man. Frustrated and sick, sick in his mind, sick in his soul, if he has one. Hates everybody that has anything he can't have. Hates us mostly, I guess.
Hey, George, can I borrow your tuxedo studs?
Yeah, help yourself, Harry.
Hey, are they in your suitcase?
I'm not taking a tuxedo on a cattle boat, you know.
Say, where'd you get that fine piece of luggage anyway?
Ah, Mr. Gower, a going-away present. And one of these days, you're going to see that bag all covered with travel labels. Italy, Baghdad.
Hey, do you know, are you gonna go to that dance tonight?
What, and be bored to death?
You know, in my opinion, there's no better way to die. There's gonna be a lot of pretty girls out there. So I'm out.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
We have that all figured out. You see, Harry will take my job at the building and loan, work there for 4 years, and then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
You were born old, George. I suppose you've decided what you're going to do when you get out of college.
Oh, well, you know, what I've always wanted. Building things, designing new buildings, plan modern cities.
Still after that first million before you're 30.
No, I'll settle for half of that in cash.
Of course. It's just a hope. But you wouldn't consider coming back to the building and loan, would you? I know it's early to talk about it.
Oh, I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in that shabby little office. Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that remark. But this business of nickels and dimes and spending all your life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe, I'd go crazy. I want to do something big and something important.
You know, George, I feel that in a small way we are doing something important, satisfying a fundamental urge. It's not too much for a man to want his own roof and walls and fireplace, and we're helping him get those things in our shabby little office.
I know, Dad. I wish I felt, but I've always been hoarding pennies like a miser in order to, well, most of my friends have already finished college. I just feel like if I don't get away, I'd bust.
Yes, you're right, boy. There was no place in town to live if you aren't willing to cross Potter. You get yourself an education, then you get out of here.
I'm glad you see what I'm talking about. Say, I think I'm going downtown on Old Main Street. Last night in town, though.
Have a good time, son.
Who's that?
Why, that's Violet Beck.
The little girl from the candy counter?
That's right.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Hello, Vi.
What gives?
Oh, nothing. Where are you going? Oh, I'll probably end up at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get bored of reading all those books?
Yes. What are you doing tonight?
Nothing.
Are you game, Vi? What do you say we make a night of it?
Oh, I'd love it, George. What should we do?
Let's go out in the fields and take off our shoes and walk in the grass.
Huh?
Then we can go up to Stewart Lake. It's beautiful up there in the moonlight, and we can swim. And we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines, and watch the sunrise against the peaks. And we'll stay up there till the whole night, and everybody will be talking, and there'll be a terrific scandal.
George, have you gone crazy? Walking my bare feet? Why, it's 10 miles up there in Mount Bedford. You think that just because you...
Okay, just forget about the whole thing.
Forget about what, George?
Oh, nothing, Sam.
You remember Mary, don't you?
Hi, George. Hi, Mary.
Say, you wouldn't mind walking Mary home, would you, George?
Of course not. Is that okay with you, Mary?
Fine by me. Great. Thanks. So, George walked Mary home. Is that important, Joseph?
I'd say it is, because even though Mary lived only 4 blocks away, it took them 2 hours to get there.
And dance by the light of the moon. Just like an organ, gee whiz.
Beautiful.
You know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18.
18?
Too young or too old?
Oh no, just right. Your age fits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I have to throw her off.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
Well, no. Don't you know about the deserted houses? You make a wish and then you throw her off.
But George, it's such a lovely place. I wish I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live there if I was a ghost. Now watch. Watch this. How about it, huh? Pretty good shot. Broke a window, huh?
What's your wish, George?
Well, not just one wish. A whole handful. Mary, I'm shaking the dust off this crummy little town off of my feet, and I'm going to see the whole world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here, and I'm going to go to college and see what they know. Then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields, and I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm going to build bridges a mile long, and then I'm going to... Hey, are you going to throw a rock too? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish for, Mary?
Oh, no, if I tell you, it may not come true.
Hey, Mary, come on. What do you want, huh? Do you want the moon? All you gotta do is say the word now.
Okay, the moon. I'll take it. And then what?
Then what? I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Then you could swallow it and it'd all dissolve. See? And the moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers and toes and the ends of your hair and the... Am I talking too much?
Yes, and why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Who's that?
Old man on the front porch.
I think you're wasting on the wrong people.
Hey, hold on. Hey, mister, come back here and I'll show you some kissing that'll put the hair back on your head. You come back here and...
George!
Uncle Billy?
George, get in the car quick. Your father's had a stroke.
I'm sorry. I've got to go, Mary.
George's father died that night, Clarence. So of course, George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, just as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan held a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor.
Quiet. I want the board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out around here these past few months. And it was greatly appreciated.
Thanks, George. Stick around.
Now, I think that's all we'll need you for, George. Good luck to you at school. I know you're anxious to make a train.
Yes, I have a taxi waiting downstairs.
Good luck to you.
Bye, George. Thanks again.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get to my real purpose here. I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve the building and loan and turn its assets and liabilities over to the receiver.
Now, it's too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building and loan. It was his faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say to the public, Peter Bailey was the building and loan.
Well, that's fine, Potter, coming from you. Considering that you probably drove him to his grave.
Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. Well, I don't mean any disrespect to him, God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. What does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stirred them up and filled their heads with a lot of impossible food. Now
Just a minute.
Now hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap, penny-ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was... Why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy?
You got that right.
He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me, but he did help a few people get out of your slums. And what's wrong with that? Well, in my book, he got a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want with this thing. Just one thing more, though. This town needs this measly, one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can come without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash. I want my motion.
They're just coming out of the board meeting. I'll have to call you back. What happened, George? All we heard was a lot of yelling.
Boy, oh boy, Matilda, you should have heard George.
Yeah, they're voting us down in there.
George, get out of here. You missed your boat trip. Do you want to miss college too? Don't worry about the board. They're putting us out of business. So what? I can get another job. I'm only 55.
You're 58.
George!
You won't believe this. We voted Potter down. We're still in business.
Whoopee, we're still in business. We're
There-
still in business.
Yes. There's only one condition, George. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Appoint me? But I'm going to college. Uncle Billy here, he's your man.
Oh, well, you can keep him on. That's all right.
Now let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to school. This is my last chance.
But George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter otherwise.
So, George Bailey, did he go to college?
That's right, Clarence. He gave his college money to his brother Harry. And Harry went instead.
But what about that good-looking girl? You know, Mary?
Oh, George saw her now and then. But not very often, though. Because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 more years for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. And he could still see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields of Venezuela.
There she blows. Say, Uncle Billy, you know what the 3 most wonderful sounds on earth are?
Breakfast is served, lunch is served, dinner is served.
No. Anchor chains, plane motors, and train whistles. Here's the professor now.
Well, if it isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey. How about you, Uncle Billy? You haven't changed a bit.
Nobody ever changes around here. You know that.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
Say, where's Mother?
She's home cooking the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Wait, this is Ruth Dakin.
Bruce Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh?
Well, you know, I wired you, but I wanted to surprise you. Meet the wife.
Well, what do you know? Why?
Well, how do you do? What am I doing? Congratulations, congratulations. Harry, why didn't you tell somebody? What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this 2-headed brother of mine?
Well, I'll tell you, he's permanently mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets you and a job? Harry's cup runneth over. Come on, Ruth, let's start ahead and leave the bags for the fellas.
All right.
Oh, about that job, George. Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I would take it. You've been holding things down here for 4 years now. I just wanted to let you know I wouldn't let you down.
It's all right, Harry. It's all right.
Just
that night, the homecoming for Harry became his wedding party. Uncle Billy familiarized himself with all the spirits.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I feel so good I could spit in powder's eye. I think I just might. What do you say? Maybe I should go home? If only I'm coming in the right direction.
Right down there.
That way, huh? Okay, old Billy in the Lone House, see you later. I'm all right, I'm all right.
George? Yeah, I'm out here on the porch, Mother. Just thought I would get some air.
Well, how do you like the new sister-in-law?
She's swell.
Looks like she'll keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
George, do you know Mary Hatch is back in town?
Yeah.
Nice girl, that Mary.
Uh-huh.
Oh, stop grumbling. Give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary.
Well, Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about her.
Well, she's not crazy about him.
Well, now how do you know that? Did she discuss it with you?
Besides, Sam is away in New York, and you're here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war?
Well, I don't know about war.
All right, Mother. I think I'll go out and find the girl and do a little passionate necking.
George!
Bye, Mrs. Bailey. By the way, do you want any books at the library?
The library? George! George, you go and see Mary Hatch right now. Do you hear?
Hello, George.
Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Your mother phoned me and said you were on your way over to pay me a visit.
Oh, my mother called you? Well, how did she know?
Well,
I didn't tell anybody. I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by. What do you... Well, went for a walk, that's all. When did you get back?
Tuesday. Would you like to come in?
Well, I guess since I'm here. Say, where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's all right. I thought you'd go back to New York with Sam and the rest of them.
Oh, I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick for Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and, oh, everything. Would you like to sit down?
All right, for a minute. I still can't understand it, though. You know I didn't tell anybody I was coming here.
Would you rather leave?
No, I don't want to be rude.
It was nice about Harry and Ruth, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, it's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
No. Marriage is okay for Harry and Sam Wainwright, and you.
Mary Maris, who's out there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want, George?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
You tell him to go right back home and don't you leave the house. Sam Wainwright promised to call from New York tonight, didn't he?
Your mother needn't... You know I didn't come here to...
What'd you come here for?
I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one who has all the answers. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you just go home?
That's where I'm going. I don't know why I came here in the first place.
Mary, the phone. It's Sam.
I'll get it. Hee-haw. Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm great. Gee, it's good to hear your voice again.
Oh, well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
You mean old Mossback George?
Yes, old Mossback George.
Yeehaw! Put him on.
Wait a minute. I'll call him. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George, you idiot.
He does so. He asked for himself. George, Sam wants to speak with you.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal your girl.
No, wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension.
I am not.
We can both hear you. George, just put your head a little closer.
Okay.
There, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
All right. I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, you remember that night at Martini's bar when you told me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Huh? Yeah, soybeans, yeah.
Well, my father's checked into it, George. See, and now he's going to build a factory outside of Rochester. How do you like that?
Rochester? Well, why Rochester?
Well, why not? Can you think of anything better?
Oh, I don't know. Why not right here in Bedford Falls? You remember that old Tula Machinery Works? You tell your father he can get that for a song, and all the labor he wants too. Half the town was thrown out of work when they closed down.
That's so. Well, I'll tell him. Hey, that sounds great. Baby, I knew you'd come through. Now, here's the point, George. I may have a job for you. That is, unless you're still married to the old broken down building alone. Oh, Mary?
I'm here.
You tell that guy I'm giving him a chance of a lifetime. You hear?
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Give me that phone. Now you listen to me, Mary. I don't want any plastics, and I don't want any job. I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do, and you're not going to. Oh, Mary.
George.
Oh, Mary, I love you.
George, I love you too.
We'll return to our presentation of It's a Wonderful Life in just a few moments. But first, a word from one of our sponsors.
Don't be blue about your jeans. Get your wardrobe really clean.
Spiffy and Jiffy on Studs Your Duds.
Located at 123 West Main Street, Bedelia.
They are ready to meet your laundry needs, so you will be ready to have
White Christmas in no time.
And now it's back to our play.
George and Mary were married, and following the wedding and reception, George's old pal Ernie, the cab driver, drove the happy couple home to the train station.
Hey, where are you two going on this here now, honeymoon?
We're going to shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Here's the kitty, Ernie. $2,000. I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
So you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? And then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
That does it. Hey, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed you since...
Hey, George, there's something going on over there. Look over there at the bank. It looks like a run.
Huh? Pull over there a minute, will you, Ernie?
George, let's not stop. Please, let's just go straight to the station.
Now, wait a minute. I better see what it is. I'll be right back.
George, please, George.
Hey.
What is this, Uncle Billy, a holiday? Why are the doors locked? There's a crowd out front.
This is a pickle, George.
All right, now what happened?
All I know is the bank called our loan. I had to hand out all our cash.
All of it?
Every last cent.
Holy mackerel.
And then I got scared, George, and I had to close the doors.
Our charter says we need to stay open until 6 o'clock or we'll lose our license.
Bailey, brother, Billy.
Get me, George.
George, it's Potter.
Hello?
George, there's a rumor going around town that you've closed your doors. Is that true?
No, it isn't.
Do you need any police? Mobs get pretty ugly sometimes, you know.
We're fine.
We'll see. Now, George, I'm going all out to help you in this crisis. I'll just guarantee the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close for a week and then reopen. I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people to just bring them over here and I'll pay them 50 cents on the dollar.
You don't miss a trick, do you, Potter? We're going to miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., you'll never reopen.
He just took over the bank, Billy. Open the doors, let them in. Now, just remember that this thing isn't as bad as it appears. I have some news for you folks. I've just talked to Old Man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments at the bank.
How about our money, George? Where's our money?
Now please, wait a minute. Listen to me. You're thinking of this place all wrong. The money's not here.
What?
Now wait a minute. Let me tell you. Your money's in people's houses, in the Kennedy house, in the McLaren house, and in your house and 100 others. Now, what are you going to do? Foreclose on them?
I got $242 in here. And $242 isn't going to break anybody.
All right, Charlie, all right. Now, how will you get your money in 60 days?
60 days?
Well, that's what you agreed to when you bought your shares.
I got my money. Old Man Potter's taking over the bank. He'll pay you 50 cents on the dollar.
Now, wait a minute, please. Please don't leave. I beg of you not to do this. If Potter gets a hold of your shares, he'll be owning this building and loan. He's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got the department stores. And now he's after us, because he wants to keep you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now we can get through this all right, but we have to stick together. We have to have faith in each other.
My husband's out of work. We need money.
I have doctor bills to pay.
I can't feed my kids with faith.
How much do you need? We still got some money. We have $2,000 from the wedding.
Hey, Mary, I've got $2,000 here. This will tide us over until the bank reopens. All right, Charlie, now how much do you need?
$242.
Charlie, just enough to tide you over until the bank reopens.
I'll take $242.
Okay. Uncle Billy, give Charlie $242. Okay, all right. Ed, now how much do you need to get by?
$20, I suppose.
Now we're talking. Now, Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
But it's your own money, George.
Never mind that. How much do you want, Mrs. Thompson?
Could I have $17.50?
Bless your heart. Of course you can have it. Uncle Billy, give her $17.50. Pay it back when you can now. Pay it back when you can. All right, who's next?
Billy, look at the clock. Look.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. 6 o'clock, we made it. Lock that door, Uncle Billy. Boy, we're still in business and we've even got $2 left.
Bailey's brother's building Ed. Just a minute, George. There's a call for you.
Look, will you get my wife on the phone? She's probably over at her mother's.
Mrs. Bailey is on the phone.
Well, I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife. Oh, Mrs. Bailey. Oh, that is my wife. Mary? Hello, listen, dear. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Come home? What home? 320 Sycamore? Well, what? Whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel, huh?
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, the snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland.
Go Father!
That doesn't look like the Waldorf.
Oh no, number 320 Sycamore was the old Granville house. The one George and Mary threw rocks at and made wishes. Mary had prepared the house, including a turkey dinner, romantic decorations, and even a marriage bed.
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Well, I'll be.
Remember that night we broke the windows in this old house? This is what I wished for.
Darling, you're wonderful.
Yes, sir, that's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started their lives together. Mary made the leaky old house a home, while George toiled away at the building and loan, providing houses for people like Giuseppe Martini.
Hey, Martina, you renting a new house?
You hear that from Mr. Bailey? I own this house. I own my own house. We no more. We live like pigs in Papa's School.
We have something for you and your family, Mr. Martini. George and I bring something for all the new owners.
For the Martinis? Maria, come quick. Bring the kids. We got our first housewarming gifts.
Bread, so that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
Adelante.
We now pause to bring you an important message from one of our sponsors.
Hey, my nails, Joseph Sauce, get ready, kids, for Santa Claus. Stop in at Madelia Lumber for all your Christmas lights and hardware needs. Open day, they are located at 24th Center Avenue and Madelia. Give them a call at 642-3201. That's 642-3201. Madelia Lumber.
now back to our show.
Bailey houses were popping up all over the place, mostly owned by people that used to live in Potter's Field. And Potter had just about enough of that. So after a couple of years, old man Potter decided to call our George into his office.
Sit down, George. Have a cigar.
Thank you, sir. Quite a cigar, Mr. Potter.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
Well, I suppose. I found out sooner or later, but what exactly did you want to see me for?
George, now that's just what I like so much about you. George, I'm an old man and most people hate me, but I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. You know just as well as I do that I practically run everything in this town but the Bailey Building and Loan. You also know that for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or, well, kill it. But I haven't been able to do it, George. You've been stopping me. In fact, you have beaten me, George, and that takes some doing. Take during the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones that kept our heads. You saved the building and loan, and I saved all the rest.
Yes, well, most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George, the suckers. Now, let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week.
45.
45.
45.
Now, if you were some ordinary yokel, I would say you were doing just fine. But George Bailey is intelligent, ambitious. He hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of this town ever since he was born. A young man, the smartest one of the crowd, mind you, who has to sit by and watch his friends go places because he's trapped into fritting his life away and playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture here, George, or do I exaggerate?
What is your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, you're the only man in this town who's licked me. I want to hire you. Manage my affairs. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000? $20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town and buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, George, would you?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else around here, are you? Are you sure you're talking to me? I'm George Bailey. Don't you remember me? The building and loan, remember?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, providing he has brains enough to climb aboard.
Well, what about the building and loan?
Oh, confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if you might give me 24 hours to think about it.
Sure. You go home and talk with your wife.
Yeah, I'd like that.
In the meantime, I'll drop the papers, and soon you'll be managing my affairs.
Your affairs? No, the answer's no, doggone it. You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider.
What did Mr. Potter want, George?
Nothing. Just talk. Nothing. Oh, gee, Mary Hatch, why in the world would you ever marry a guy like me anyway?
To keep from being a crazy cat lady.
I was going to see the world. I was going to build things. I was going to give you the moon. What have I given you? Not even a new dress. Not for months. You could have married Sam Wainwright, anybody else in town.
I don't want to marry anyone else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You don't even have a honeymoon. I promised you... Your what?
My baby.
You mean, Mary, you're on the nest?
George Bailey Lasso Stork.
We now pause to bring you an important message from one of our sponsors.
Is your Christmas making you feel bah humbug instead of joyful?
Pouty instead of peaceful,
Then join us at 9 o'clock every Sunday morning at Salem Lutheran Church.
where the message brings joy to the world.
You'll leave singing, Hallelujah!
And now we return to our show.
Well, Mary had her baby, a boy.
You don't say.
Then she had a girl.
Well, what do you know?
Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't good at the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down on them. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then, but was still able to run the USO. Gower and Uncle Billy sold war bonds. Violet entertained the troops. Bert the cop was wounded in North Africa. He got the Silver Star. Ernie the taxi driver parachuted into France. And Harry Harry Bailey topped them all. A Navy flyer shot down 15 planes, 2 of them just as they were about to crash into a transport full of soldiers.
Yes, but George. What about George?
George. 4 on account of his year. George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls, though. Air raid warden, paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. On VE Day, he wept and he prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, Clarence. You know now almost everything you have to know about George Bailey, except what happened that finds him down there at this very morning, wanting to die.
Sir. Well?
Well, today's the day before Christmas, and Uncle Billy is at the bank to make a deposit when he ran into Old Man Potter.
Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter. Come to the bank to deposit some more loot, huh?
Sure, you old fool.
How'd you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you?
Let me see that newspaper.
Here you go. Sorry, I can't tell you, old thief. Gotta make a deposit.
Good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, Hortense. Here you are. Deposit slip, bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
You too, Mr. Bailey. Say, you've forgotten something, haven't you?
What's that?
You came here to make a deposit, right?
Well, certainly.
Well, it's customary to bring your money.
It's gone? Where'd I put it? Where'd I put that money?
A terrible thing, Clarence. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 in it was folded up in the newspaper he gave to Old Man Potter. At the same time as Billy started looking at the deposit, Violet came to visit George at the building and loan.
Oh, hello, Vi. Suppose you're getting things ready at the house for the party tonight.
You know you're invited. What's wrong?
You see right through me, don't you?
How much do you need?
I hate doing this to you, George, but I won't be asking for any more after this.
You plan on robbing a bank, Vi?
I'm going to New York.
What's in New York?
Why, everything is in New York. At least a new start.
That's a big step, Vi. What's the matter with starting a new life right here in Bedford Falls?
Well, I'll be. Never thought I'd hear that from you, George Bailey. I thought you hated this place.
I did, but this town has a charm of its own. You should give to it. I'm just thinking of you, Violet. New York is a big place to take on your own.
I made my decision. There's a midnight train tonight, and I'm planning to be on it.
It takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start all over again. Here's some dough.
No, George, don't.
What do you want to do? Hawk your furs in that hat? Want to walk to New York? You know they charge for meals and rent up there, just the same as they do here in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's my business. Building and loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm so glad I knew you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Merry Christmas, George.
George.
Uncle, what's going on? The bank examiner's coming today and
Today?
Yeah. Wants the accounts payable. What's the matter with you?
The money, the 8,000,
What happened, Uncle Billy? What happened to it?
I don't know. I was going to deposit it, and when I went to the bank, I didn't have it.
$8,000, Uncle Billy. The bank examiner's in town, and it's not our money. It belongs to the depositors.
I'm so sorry, George. I don't know what happened.
Well, the first place you look is in your coat pocket. I told you to put it there when you left.
I'm no good to you, George. I'm no good.
Let's go then. We have to retrace your steps. We'll leave no stone unturned.
As George and Billy went looking for the deposit, Potter had a meeting with the state bank examiner, Miss Sadie Vance.
The whole town's turned upside down with the Bailey boys' homecoming. Congressional Medal of Honor and all.
I guess they do things like that.
May I look at your paper?
Go ahead.
This is a deposit from Bailey.
That old fool Billy Bailey gave me that newspaper.
Well, you're going to deposit it for him, right? Potter?
To think he would make such a foolish mistake. But look at how much it is.
There's $8,000 here.
What a Christmas present, and he doesn't even know it.
Now, just a minute here, Potter. I know you've been giving the Baileys a hard time for as far back as I can remember. Why?
I don't have to give answers to you. You're just a state examiner.
Yes, I am. But I am unimpressed by your buying off everyone in town. Oh, that's it. You could never buy off the Baileys.
What?
Oh, you heard what I said. The Baileys have always stood for something you always wanted and are so jealous of. They're honest.
You're fired.
Oh, you can't fire me. I'm state appointed. And what's more, I am not going to turn my back. This is stealing from the Baileys. Something like this would certainly cause them to fold.
Yes, and after 25 years, finders keepers. You know that. He gave me the money. It's his own fault. Besides, there's no court in the county that would find me guilty.
Yeah, and we all know why.
How's your family, Sadie?
My family?
I know how little state positions pay. What would you say to a little Christmas bonus?
I want no part of this.
That's not what I heard.
What are you insinuating, Potter?
I will not be turned down.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to pay the Baileys a surprise visit. You'll see the records. They'll be short, and you know the rest. At last, the Baileys will be where they belong, down for good.
I know just what to do.
And did you put the envelope in your pocket?
Yeah, maybe.
Uncle Billy, we've got to find that money.
I'm no good to you, George.
Do you have any secret hiding place here in the house?
I've been over the whole house, even in rooms that have been locked ever since I lost your Aunt Laura.
Listen to me. Think.
I can't think anymore, George. It hurts.
Where is that money, you stupid, silly old fool? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail and, well, it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Daddy. Hi. Daddy, did you bring the wreath?
What wreath?
The Merry Christmas wreath at the window.
I left it at the office. Must she keep playing that?
I have to have this for the pie tonight, Daddy.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, just started.
Where is your coat and hat?
I left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. I'll bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother is so excited.
Mommy says we can stay up until midnight and sing Christmas carols.
Can you sing, Dad? Better hurry up and shave, George. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over here.
Excuse me. Have a hectic day?
Oh yeah, another big red letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, the Brown next door have a new car. You should see it.
Well, what's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I burped. All right, darling, you're excused. Now go upstairs and see what little Zuzu wants.
What's the matter with Suzu?
Oh, she got a cold. Caught it coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
What is it, a sore throat?
The doctor said it was nothing serious.
Was the doctor here?
I called him right away.
Is she running a temperature?
Just a teensy one.
Gosh, it's this old house. I don't know why we don't all have pneumonia, this drafty old barn. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why did we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what is wrong?
Wrong? Everything's wrong. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have all these kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Up to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Where do you think you're going?
I want to give my flower a drink.
Here, give Daddy the flower. I'll give it a drink.
Look, Daddy, some of the petals came off. Paste it.
Yeah, all right now. I'll paste this together. There it is, good as new.
Give the flower a drink.
Now, will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try to get some sleep?
I'm not sleeping. I want to look at my flower.
I know, but you just go to sleep, and then you can dream about it, and it'll be a whole garden.
It will?
Uh-huh.
Help.
I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. The doctor said she'll be out of bed in time for her Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch. This is George Bailey. Say, what kind of teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that, half naked?
George!
Is this the sort of thing we pay taxes for? To have teachers like you? Silly, stupid, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on. That's stupid. Hello, Mrs. Welsh? I want to apologize. Hello? Hello? She hung up. I'll hang her up.
Now, who do you think you're talking to?
Wait a minute. Hello? Who is this? Oh, Mr. Welsh. Okay, that's fine, Mr. Welsh. Gives me a chance to tell you what I really think of your plan. George. Will you get out of here and let me handle this? Hello? Oh, you will, huh? Okay, Mr. Welsh. Anytime you think you're man enough. Hello? Oh.
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
What do you think I am, a dictionary? Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You've played it over and over again. Now stop it! Stop it! George, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... You go on and practice. Pete, I owe you an apology too. I'm sorry. What did you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
What's the matter with everybody? Janie, go on. I told you to practice. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy.
George, why must you torture the children? Why don't you?
Mary.
Where's Daddy going?
Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete.
Should I pray for him?
Yes, Janie. Pray very hard. Me too? You too, Tommy. Hello, Uncle Billy?
So that's it, George. Short 8,000 in the books, eh?
Oh, please, Mr. Potter. I'll pay any sort of interest. If you still want the building and loan.
You say it was lost, but did you notify the police?
No, sir. I haven't done that yet. Harry's homecoming and all.
Why did you come to me? What about your good friend, Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
I have some life insurance. A $15,000 policy.
How much is your equity in?
$500.
And you want 8,000? Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going out to conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, frustrated young man crawling in here on your hands and knees for help? No securities, no stocks, no bonds. You're worth more dead than you are alive. Why don't you go out to that riffraff you love so much and ask them for help?
I'll do anything, Mr. Potter. Please. Please help me. My wife and my kids.
You know what I'm going to do for you. As a stockholder of this building and loan, I'm calling the state examiner for a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation, manifestos.
Mr. Potter, please. You can't. They can't arrest me.
Go on and run, George. You can't hide in a little town like this. Merry Christmas, George. Merry Christmas.
And once more we pause for a message from one of our sponsors.
Are you seeing Mommy kissing Santa Claus?
It might be time for a checkup.
Come in and see why our patients give us a 98% satisfaction rating.
Medelia Optometric is located in the lower level of the health center.
Make sure it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas by calling 642-3853 for your next eye exam.
And now for the dramatic conclusion to It's a Wonderful Life.
Very good stuff.
Merry Christmas. I'm glad you could come.
How about some more of that good spaghetti?
We got the egg.
Where's George, sir? Where?
After running out of Potter's office, George ended up at Martini's bar. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just sitting there.
What's he saying? Who is he?
God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, God.
Are you all right, George? You want somebody to take you home?
Why you drink so much, my friend? You don't feel good? Please go home, Mr. Bailey.
Bailey? You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
This gentleman is Mr. Bailey, George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh? And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. It isn't enough she slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. You gotta ball her out.
You get out of here, Mr. Welch. Yeah. You hit my best friend. You get out of here.
All right.
Mr. Bailey, are you okay?
Who was that?
Mr. Welcher, but you don't need to worry. You don't have to come in this place no more. I'll get you something for your face. It's a bleeding.
I'm all right.
Please don't go away, Mr. Bailey. Please don't.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
George is headed to the bridge now, Clarence. Can you see him?
He looks like he's gonna jump.
It's time, Clarence.
Excuse me. You there? Have you got the time?
My watch is dead.
Thanks. Just the same.
Help! Help, I can't swim!
Hold it, mister. I'm coming.
What in Sam Harlow tube you doing out there? This storm is not fit for a man or a beast. Now, get out of that water. Are you two all right? Do you need a doctor?
No, I'm all right.
Nah, I'm fine. This underwear. I didn't have time to get anything stylish. My wife gave me this for my last birthday. I passed away in it.
Passed away?
Oh, I see Tom Sawyer is drawing out too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry, I brought Tom Sawyer with me. You should read the new book Mark Twain is working on.
How did you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
You jumped in to save me?
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
It's against the law to commit a suicide around here.
Yeah? It's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
What?
I had to act quickly. That's why I jumped in. I knew if I were drowning, then you would try to save me. And you did. And that's why I saved you.
Oh, that's very funny.
Your lips bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer.
Oh, no. George, I'm the answer to your prayer.
How do you know my name?
Well, I know all about you. I watched you grow up from a little boy.
What are you, a mind reader or something?
No.
Well, what are you then?
I'm Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody AS2. What's that AS2?
Angel, second class.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. You may not need a doctor, but I do.
Cheerio, good man.
Hey, look here. Why did you want to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Ridiculous of you to think of killing yourself for money. $8,000.
Yeah, just things like that. Now, how'd you know that?
I told you. I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look like about the kind of angel I get. Sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
Well, I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
You don't happen to have $8,000 on you?
We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Comes in pretty handy down here, bub. I found it out a little late. I'm worth more dead than alive.
Now look, you mustn't say things like that. I won't get my wings with that attitude. You just don't know all that you've done. If it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody would be a lot better off. My wife and my kids and my friends.
This isn't going to be easy.
It'd all be better if I hadn't been born.
What did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
George, that's wonderful.
Wonderful?
The idea you just gave me. Well, you got your wish. You've never been born.
Never been born?
Exactly. No worries, no $8,000 to get. You simply don't exist.
Hey, wait a minute. This ear of mine. Say something else in that ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore, George. Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. Well, you're nobody.
That's the doggonest thing.
Your lips stopped bleeding too, George.
What do you know about that? What happened? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? Do you want a drink?
Well, I don't know.
Come on, come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Our clothes are dry.
Hey, so they are. That's funny. That stove's hotter than I thought. Well, look, let's get dressed, and we'll stroll over to Martini's, and then... Oh, excuse me. I'll stroll, you fly.
I haven't got my wings.
Oh, you haven't gotten your wings. That's right. A couple of drinks and we'll both fly. Here's a place to sit down. Sit down. Oh, hello, Nick. Clarence, welcome to the best bar in Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls? Don't you mean Pottersville?
Pottersville? Hey, where's Martini?
Look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Okay, all right. Double bourbon. Quick, huh?
Okay. What's yours gonna be, Bob?
Oh, I was just thinking of mulled wine.
Huh?
Heavy on the cinnamon and light on the cloves. Off with you, my lad, and lively now.
Hey, look here, mister. We serve hard drinks in here for men who want to get drunk fast.
Drunk, yeah.
And we don't need no characters around here giving this joint atmosphere.
Now, come on here. Just give him the same as I ordered. He's okay.
All right, 2 double bourbon coming up.
What about this place? It's all changed.
All of Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. There'll be lots of things you've never seen before. Oh, good! Somebody's just made it.
Made what?
Every time our bell rings, it means some angels just got their wings.
What'd you say?
Look, Clarence, I don't think you better talk about angels around here.
Don't they believe in angels?
Well, yeah, they believe in them, but, you know, it's just...
Well, then, why should they be surprised when they see one?
Huh?
Don't mind him, Nick. He just never grew up. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
293. Next minute.
Oh, that does it. Out you 2 pixies go through the door, out the window. Go on, get.
Where's Martini? Will you tell him...
Stop asking about Martini. He ain't here. Oh, well, look who crawled out from whatever hole he's been hiding in.
Hey, it's Mr. Gower.
Hey, you drunkard, didn't I tell you to never come panhandling around here?
George, look.
Mr. Gower, this is George Bailey. Don't you know me?
Will you buy me a drink, mister? Just one drink.
Binky, throw the drunkard out.
You got it!
Oh, no, please.
Hey, Nick, isn't that Mr. Gower, the druggist?
Oh, that drunk spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. Hey, if you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Hey, Binky, here's 2 more. Get him out of here.
Out of here. Yeah.
Here, let me help you up. It smells quite cold.
What's wrong with Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, George, you weren't there to stop Gower from putting that poison into that prescription.
What do you mean I wasn't there? What, are you a hypnotist? Why am I seeing all these strange things here?
Don't you understand? It's because you were never born.
Then if I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name is George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. You have no papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F card, and no insurance policy.
Zuzu's petals.
What?
Zuzu's petals. My little girl. Some petals fell off of her flower. I told her I'd fix it and stuck them in my pocket. But they're gone too. Everything is gone.
But you've been given a great gift, George. The chance to see what the world would be like if you'd never been born.
You're crazy. You're crazy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy too. Now look, I'm going home to my wife and my family. Do you understand that? And I'm going home alone.
All right, Toots, you know the drill. Hands behind your back, sister.
Keep your hands off me. Why don't you put someone else for a change?
Hey, officer. Where did the building and loan move to?
The building in what?
The Bailey Building and Loan. It was up there.
Oh, they went out of business years ago. Now all that's left is this burlesque house.
Not so fast, Copper. I know Potters.
Hey, Violet. Listen, that's Violet Bick.
I know. Believes me, I know.
I know that girl.
Who doesn't, mister? Now get out of our way, would you?
Taxi. Hey, Ernie. Ernie, take me home. I'm going off my nut.
Where do you live?
Now doggone it, Ernie. Don't you start pulling that stuff. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore. Now hurry up.
Okay. 320 Sycamore.
Yeah. Hurry up. Zuzu's sick.
All right.
Look here, Ernie. Straighten me out. I've got some bad liquor or something. Listen to me. Now you are Ernie Bishop, and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kid. That's right, isn't it?
You seen my wife?
Seen your wife. I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Pottersfield, and my wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid, and I ain't never seen you before in my life.
Okay, just step on it. Just get me home.
Is this the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been lived in for 20 years.
Mary, I'm home. Pete, Tommy, Janie, Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
Where are they, Clarence? What have you done with them?
All right, put up your hands.
What is this?
No fast moves. Come out here, both of you.
Bert, thank heaven you're here. Bert, what's happened to this house? Where's Mary? Where are my kids?
Watch him, Bert.
Come on. I'm going to take you down to the station.
Bert, now listen to me. It's that fellow there. He says he's an angel. He's tried to hypnotize me.
Don't make me use my nightstick.
Bert, I hate to do this, but...
Run! George! Run, George!
Ma Bailey's boarding house.
Well,
Mother.
Mother, what do you want?
Mother, this is George. I thought for sure you'd remember me.
George who? And look, if you're looking for a vacancy here, I don't have one.
Oh, Mother, please try to understand. Something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Please let me stay here.
I don't take in strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him?
Well, sure do.
When did you see him last?
Today, over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong to.
I'm here again, George.
My mother. My own mother didn't even know me.
Strange, isn't it? One man's life touches so many others. And when he isn't around, he leaves a pretty big hole, doesn't he?
Look, you, I've heard of things like this before. You've got me under some kind of a spell. Well, I'm gonna get out of it. I've got to. I know I talked to Billy this afternoon. How can you be in an asylum? I've got to snap out of this. Now, let me think a minute. Bailey Park.
There is no Bailey Park. You weren't there to build it.
We'll see.
This is Bailey Park? People live here? It's pretty grave.
This is where Bailey Park is supposed to be. What's this gravestone doing here? And why is the name Bailey on it?
Well, that wouldn't be yours.
My father's name is on it, but what's that other name? Why is my brother Harry's name on here?
Your brother broke through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them, because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
What do I do now, Clarence? What do I do?
It's your life, George.
What happened to Mary, Clarence?
Mary?
My wife, Mary. What happened to her if I was never born?
I'm not supposed to tell you, George.
I don't know how you know the things you do, but please, if you know where she is, just let me see her. That's all I need to make a decision.
Very well, George. But you're not going to like it.
Where is she, Clarence?
She's a crazy cat lady.
Where is she?
Well, she's just about to close up the library. There must be some easier way to earn my wings.
Is the library closed?
It's Christmas Eve. We can't stay open all night.
Can I ask you something?
I really should be getting home.
What is there to go home to?
That is none of your business, sir. The library is closed. Maybe you should try back on the 26th.
Mary, I'm sorry.
How do you know my name?
All I need is a couple of minutes.
I told you the library is closed.
Please, just 2 minutes. That's all I need. I'll do anything.
Well, you sound desperate. I'll help if I can. What is it?
Isn't this town Bedford Falls?
It used to be, but that was some time ago. I wasn't very old when Potter was elected and took the town, along with its name, for himself.
So you do know of a place called Bedford Falls?
I've seen pictures, and it looked like a very nice place. Things have changed, but that's what the times. I have to go.
Mary Hatch. You live on Reed Street, a white Victorian. Your bedroom is at the top of the stairs. You turn to the left. You have an older brother, Marty, and you live with your mother, Edna.
How do you know all this? What are you, some crazy man? Stop, I'm leaving.
Don't you know me, Mary?
Get your hands off me, I will call a cop.
The house you wished for, don't you remember?
I told you I don't know you. Let me go, officer.
Don't you know me? You must. Mary, it's George. Don't you know me?
Let me go.
Mary, please, don't do this to me. Please, Mary, help me. Where are our kids?
What?
I need you, Mary. Help me, Mary.
Get away from me. Help, help, please.
Mary, it's George. Please, Mary, you're my wife. Clarence, where are you? Help me, Clarence. Get me back. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and kids. Help me, Clarence, please, please. I want to live again. I want to live again, please. Oh, God, please let me live again.
George, is that you, George?
Don't get out of here, Bert. Get out of here. You come any closer and I'll hit you again.
What the sandhill are you yelling for, George?
Come on, George. George? Bert, do you know me?
No, you. I've been looking all over town for you. Where have you been?
Hey, Bert, I'm alive again, Bert.
Are you sure you're all right? Hey, your mouth's bleeding.
It is? Hey, my mouth's bleeding. Bert, look at that blood come out of there. Would you... Zuzu's petals. Zuzu's petals, there they are. What do you know about that? Merry Christmas, Bert.
Well, Merry Christmas. Get in the car. I'll drive you home.
You will, Bert. We'll do that and turn the siren wide open. Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls. Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan. Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter. Yippee! Mary, I'm home. Have you seen my wife? Hey, what is this? These people, these reporters. Hey, Merry Christmas, reporters.
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000, I bet, huh?
George, I've got a little paper here.
I bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? Merry Christmas. Hey, where's Mary, you know? Look at this wonderful old drafty house. Isn't it wonderful? Where is Mary?
Dad, I love you. Would you get me?
Pete! Tatey! I'm so glad to see you. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you with Uncle Billy. Daddy!
Zuzu, my little ginger snap, how do you feel?
Fine, Day, not a smidge of temperature.
Not a smidge. Hallelujah.
George, darling.
It's Mommy. Mommy's home.
Mary.
Oh, George, where have you been? Oh, George.
Mary, I love you.
Oh, George.
You have no idea what's happened to me.
You have no idea what's happened either. Come on, George, quick. They're on their way.
Who's on their way? The police department? The FBI? The National Guard? I'm alive again, Mary. Listen, I'm alive again.
All right, come in here right now. Now you stand over here by the tree, right there, and don't move. Don't move. Oh, I hear them now, George. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Come in, Uncle Billy. Everyone in here.
Isn't it wonderful, Mary? George did it, George. Mary did it. She told a few people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town collecting money. They didn't ask any questions. Just that if George is in trouble, you can count on me. You never saw anything like it.
What is this, George? Another run on the bank? Here you are. Merry Christmas.
The line forms to the right, Mr. Gower. Merry Christmas. Mr. Martini, step up right now.
I busted the jukebox, too.
Mr. Gower!
I made the rounds on my charge accounts.
Violet Dick.
I'm not going to New York. I changed my mind.
I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George. Here you go. $242.
I've been saving this money for a divorce, if I ever get a husband.
Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Quiet, everybody, quiet. A telegram from London.
Oh, London! London.
Mr. Gower Cables, you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas. Sam Wainwright.
Hello, George. How are you?
Harry!
Mary, looks like I got here a little too late.
Mary, I got him here from the airport as quickly as I could. The fool flew all the way up here in a blizzard.
Well, Harry, how about your banquet in Washington?
I left right in the middle of that, as soon as I got Miss Mary's telegram.
How about some wine?
Good idea. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
To George!
What's this book, George? Tom Sawyer.
Look, there's an inscription.
George, remember, no man who's a failure has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
What's that?
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says that every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
This has been WMAD, Madelia Community Theater Playhouse of the Airs, presentation of It's a Wonderful Life. This radio play has been brought to you by our wonderful Madelia sponsors, Madelia Lumber Company, Suds Your Duds, Salem Lutheran Church, and Madelia Optometric. And this is Sister Mary Agnes and the students from St. Madeline's School for Girls and the St. James Home for Wayward Boys. Wishing you and yours the merriest of Christmases.
Thank you. We're going to take a few pictures. So thank you all for coming. Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. So those of you that have cameras, we're going to do a couple of stock pictures. I'm Paul Warshauer, I'm the director. Aren't you proud of these boys and girls? We're going to do a couple of company shots and then the cast will meet you out there. Okay, let's get